I'm Melinda Farrell, this is Bharat Sundaresan, and we're here at the SCG, which is a minor miracle, actually, that we got here. I ended up flying here yesterday. I was like about an hour after the players were going like this.
Isn't that how your flight went, Mel? It kind of went sideways. I heard from one of the Indian players that his flight kind of went sideways and then it kind of came up and it was a scary flight.
It was scary. Well, the scariest bit was we were going down and we didn't land like the players did. We suddenly went and then went up again, then went out to sea and then circled for an hour. And when the pilot said, "Hey, look, it's okay. Don't worry, we've got a couple of hours left of fuel," all I could think of was Die Hard 2 and think, oh my God, we need John McClane down there, like with flame things getting us down. You, on the other hand, you drove.
That's what I've been doing all summer. And just before that, thank you for clearing the air. She wasn't with the players. They were on a chartered flight. Yes, I have been driving all summer long. In fact, my driving started back in autumn, right? Was it? Or spring, or whenever. What comes before summer? Spring. Spring comes before summer. There you go, boys and girls. So I started driving in spring. That was Adelaide to Sydney. And yeah, I mean, I drove from Melbourne to Sydney, crossed another border. So what does that make this series for me? The Borders Gavaskar Trophy. 3 borders.
He's here all week. Try the veal. Now, so we have made it to the SCG where this next test will take place. And this has just been such a crazy tour that we haven't really been that sure about anything at any point. But it looks at this stage that, although barring something crazy happening, the test will be here and then the bubble will move on to Brisbane.
Looks like, but well, I will not be fully certain till the time the team actually boards the flight and goes and leaves us alone. Remember, we can't go to Brisbane. We don't have any exemptions. So I'm stuck here and, well, we'll see what happens to me after that. But looks likely that they will go and play that test in Brisbane. What is certain, though, is Rohit Sharma's back. Yay!
Yay! And I think we spoke to you in Melbourne and told you that he looked a bit rusty, as you would expect, but he was, really starting to look less rusty as it went on. Well, here at the SCG, he looked less rusty again, I would say, wouldn't you?
Less rusty is a good way of putting it because he didn't look at his best, and the one thing was he was very keen on wanting to bat a lot more. You could see that he, every time they would say last 3, he would face 6 balls just so that he wanted that extra time in the net, which is understandable. He's come out of quarantine 2 weeks just all by himself. So he's feeling his way back in. But India have already named him as a vice captain, so he's back in the team for sure. The only question is, where does he play? Does he replace Mayank Agarwal at the top or does he replace Hanuma Vihari in the middle?
Yeah, that's a real... we're all sort of looking for clues from that today, but I'm not sure if we've got too many clues. You think it's pretty even at the moment?
It is, because, you look for a glum face in the nets. Sorry, that's how journalists pick who's going to play and who's not going to play. Seriously, that is the secret tip. There is no, I can see his footwork and pick out whether he's playing or not. If someone tells you that, don't believe them. Yeah, we're looking for glum faces, but I don't know. Hanuma Vihari in Melbourne at the MCG after the game, that is, the nets looked a little down on life. But today he was all peppy, and Mayank Agarwal has looked the same both there and here. So I don't know. I know Gill's playing for sure after the way he batted, and he batted superbly in the nets today as well.
Yeah.
We know Pujara is playing despite having been hit on the finger. I think we spoke about it in the last video. I'm pretty sure.
We did, but then today he, of all people, Kuldeep Yadav, managed to hit him on the finger, and it wouldn't normally have bothered him at all, but it was the same finger that he'd actually hit quite badly in Melbourne. So he was in a bit of pain for a while. I think it's still quite sore, and he'll see how it goes tomorrow. But it definitely, he didn't need it on that finger again. So
yeah, but I think it's getting better.
Yeah,
he
definitely
was heard saying it's getting better. I think he should be fine. He came and had a net towards the end. And both Rahane and Ravi Shastri did check on him. I think he's fine. Pujara will play. And which cricketer or which sports person goes out onto the field with zero pain? Right? I think these guys are used to it, especially Pujara. Pujara is hard as nails.
He's tough. He's tough, Pujara. Now, when we're talking about who might replace whom or who Rohit might come in for, we still have that question of the third seamer to replace Umesh. Now, we sort of have, even though we're big fans of Natarajan, it really is coming down to Shodhyar.
See, she's getting better and better, I told you.
I'm pulling that out a bit in the nets now. um, it does look a little bit like the two favourites, Saini and Thakur, and it just looks a little bit like it might be Saini, but a bit hard to tell. But it looks like he's the favourite, do you think?
Yeah, but before that, Mel, you should also be careful with who you go short yard to. Don't go short yard to Ashwin. He's from Chennai. I mean, they don't say short yard down south.
Has to be
Maybe
someone
they'll
from
say-
Mumbai.
Not just Mumbai, but someone from the north, but especially from Mumbai. The short yard is a very Mumbai thing. Ask Sean Pollock about it. But yeah, again, glum faces. I don't know. Both look pretty peppy. Navdeep Saini and Shardul Thakur both have poker faces.
No,
They're very
yeah.
competitive in the nets. And my opinion, my personal opinion, maybe it looks like Navdeep Saini might get the get picked. He did come here. He was part of the original test squad. I mean, Natarajan and Shardul Thakur have just like snuck into squad after squad after squad. So I think Navdeep Saini might play. SCG could be a slightly slower pitch, so maybe want that extra pace, extra zip. So it could be Navdeep Saini, but we still have one more day to go before this video will be out before that, right?
Yes.
One more day to go before the test, so we'll wait and watch. It's generally you don't see much in the nets on a day before a test, but you never know. But for now, Navdeep Saini ahead of Shardul Thakur is Bharat Sundaresan's opinion.
Yeah, I take issue though with you saying about Saini didn't look happy. He never looks happy when he's bowling. He looks quite mean. He's got. I said that to you. He's got a really good mean sort of stare. He's like the opposite of Bumrah. Bumrah is like the happy puppy, jumping around. Saini's like, man, he's all business. That with that running arm,
He is.
all business. Australia trained this afternoon, and again, well, it's a little bit hard to see what's going to happen there. Now, David Warner, he was practicing a lot more, running between the wickets, doing some extra runs out here as well on the outfield, just testing out that groin strain. But he looked a lot better, I thought, than he did in Melbourne. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play. We saw Will Pucovski as well out there. He did get at least one short ball from
Michael Nisa. Very sharp one, but he evaded it well, but a very sharp bounce. Yeah, you can go back to this.
Okay.
Whatever you were saying.
So so Pucovski and Warner both out here, but the question remains: do they both play? Does one of them play? What does that mean for Travis Head if Matt Wade goes down the order? It all still seems really unclear from an Australian perspective. So we'll just have to wait and see. Look at that team sheet when it comes out.
The one positive for David Warner playing, yes, the running between the wickets was much better than what it was at the MCG. We remember the first session where we saved him. We protected him for the sake of Australian cricket by sending him away from the dicey net. He didn't look too good running between the wickets, but he was running between the wickets really, really well here. I saw him on the street somewhere in Melbourne, and still, like, you could see that he wasn't 100%. Like, I wouldn't say he was feeling the groin, but yeah, he was slightly ginger.
You don't want to go feeling your groin on the streets, mate.
That's a good point. Yeah. Is it like? Okay, fine. We'll come to that. I'll ask you more about it later off air. But yeah, he looked a little ginger, but today he was running around. And also later on, I saw him take some catches when he was diving around as well. Close in catch practice. So that's a good sign for me that David Warner would play. I think Will Pucovski also will play, in my opinion, which would mean Wade comes in for Harry.
You're thinking that he might push Travis Head out?
Oh, sure. Yeah. He looked very, very good in that, in the second innings, was it? I don't even remember when we were last at a test match. It feels like so long back. But he did look good with the bat. Yes, of course, it was the second innings. And yeah, I think he should get the nod. I mean, he's looked, like I said, much more convincing than Travis Head. As unfortunate as it would be to lose the only South Australian from the playing 11, I think Wade should come in.
Okay.
Along with Devi.
I've got to work on his. I think I do Shodiyar better than some of his Australianisms.
Wade. Yeah.
At least
That's
you didn't
not
say
an
Vedi.
Australian word. It's at least I'm getting the W right.
You did say that Rohit was going to be vice captain.
Oh damn, vice captain.
We're getting there. We teach each other. You
That
see.
is true. Win Viz. So just W, V is V. Somehow, like, I don't know why V guys struggle with it. I didn't realize it before I came.
V guys. You just said V guys.
We guys struggle with it. I don't know. These Goras then like pull us up for that.
I don't pull you up. We help each other with these things. So that was basically kind of what we saw really from training today.
One of your wonderful viewers said that I look and sound stoned. I'm not, seriously. Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, but maybe there are some remnants somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I'll find out.
We'll put the hippie on ice until tomorrow, and we'll see then.